Hello, welcome back to Improvement episode number 2. I am Wardí. Hope you're having a good time. Just gonna head into our next game here right now, and just gonna take off the overlay. In the top left hand corner we do have our purple Protoss player submitting this replay to the show. He is, of course, I'm pretty sure you all know, DeadMeat. In the bottom right hand corner we do have the yellow Terran player xNoCtiFeRx. And he's just going to be throwing his depot down next to his command center, so we'll see where he's going to place his barracks. Probably not going to be making a wall off at all, which isn't necessary in TVP, of course. Barracks coming on down. That's DeadMeat right now. He's just going to be going for, looks like a Nexus first, or a very late gateway. Maybe not that late, maybe I'm just being dumb. 13 gateways, so it's not late at all. It's just he had a couple of probes speed up. I was like, maybe. So, gas coming down for DeadMeat as well. Pretty standard. No gas for our Terran player, so very possibly just going to be a very standard gasless expand. And just in case anyone's wondering, there will be 2 more replays after this. It will be Distan X's in the chat, and there will be also Shib XYZs. We'll do Distans first, and then Shibs to finish the section for the day. So, again, just a little bit of a slow start here, just a nice macro orientated opening from both of our players. That Cybernetic score's coming down, as we'd expect from DeadMeat. What does he see with his scout? Well, you know, he sees it's gasless. He'd be pretty happy with that, so if he wants to, he can just throw down that Nexus pretty much immediately here, but instead he's going to actually chrono boost out the Zealot. So, wanting to maybe go for this pressure with the Zealot very, very quickly. I think if you chrono boost the Zealot, you should really move across the map with it straight away and not set his base with it, because there's not really that much need for it at all. Especially when you just got a normal kind of 13 gateway and so on, so nonetheless, going to be able to start the Stalker here in a second. Go for that pretty standard Zealot Stalker push. And the Zealot is now probably going to be moving across the map, chasing after that SCV. But DeadMeat actually going to come back home, just get ready to go for this expansion for the 1 gate fast expand build. So, xNoCtiFeRx, just coming back home with this SCV. And as a Terran player, I just advise really to just patrol over here. Just kind of move around over here. Just save the SCV and try and go in at well, basically when the Stalker leaves, so around 5 minutes-ish, and just check for an expansion. See if you can see an expansion coming up. In this situation, you didn't see an expansion, so if you could get back in there, check an expansion. Maybe even get up in the main and see if there's a rover facility going down very quickly, 3 gates going down very quickly, or so on, just to be able to scout out a little bit faster. So Terran players getting up a bunker in plenty of time here. Maybe a little bit late in all honesty, but Stalker's going to run up here, not going to be able to do too much, and well, he is if he can get a bunker, but yeah, Stalker just checking there's a bunker. He's pretty confident it'll be a fast expand right now, and xNoCtiFeRx is just going to throw down a tech lab on one of the barracks as well. The expand's going to finish up for DeadMeat in just a few moments. He's adding on 2 extra gates and then the rover facility. So adding on the rover facility means, you know, he's not going to go for any kind of pressure. He's just going to get his tech up pretty common. Just going to tech up. Probably go for the 3 gate robo. Well, oh wait, he's got 3 gates in a robo. Just probably going to open with Colossi here, as right now he should really maybe be down at the natural ramp. No need to be up on the high ground on the main, because if 5 Marines run up here, then you're going to have trouble finding somewhere to force field them once they're already up, so having them down on the natural a little bit safer. Kind of the same for xNoCtiFeRx, some kind of 3 gate, 4 gate pressure hit him right now, and half of his units are up there, then he's not going to be able to kill off as much as he might be able to, which is going to hurt him in terms of holding the push, so just unit position from both players. xNoCtiFeRx going for the tech, 1 reactor double tech lab build. going to be able to start his combat shields very soon. He's got his factory already on the way, but he doesn't have his he doesn't have an engineering bay down quite yet, so kind of skipping that upgrade. And DeadMeat going for a pretty greedy play, going for the double forge play. Probably going to get a mortal or two out and just kind of hold with that no AoE for a while, and just really kind of go for them upgrades ASAP. And it really helps out in the late game, because later on, of course, if you get a really fast 3-3, you're just going to decimate your opponent in the majority of fights if you're that far ahead on upgrades. So Forge's finishing up, and he's going to be able to start chrono boosting them soon. Well, nope, because he's actually still chrono boosting Nexuses, which is fine as well if you want more probes. Chrono boost your Nexus out, and that 1-1 does start up. A couple more sentries being warped in here for DeadMeat, just to be able to force field the ramp and so on. Medevac production is going to start for the Terran player. Still hasn't started combat shield, so a little bit of an interest just to get the second tech lab if you're not going for the upgrades. May have just forgotten it, so, you know. Third CC coming down, actually pretty quite quickly from xNoCtiFeRx. Don't expect to see that quickly, but that's kind of because he's missed out his own upgrades. And now the River Bay going to be able to come down as well for our Protoss player. The 1-1's going to be up in plenty of time for DeadMeat to fight, so as long as he has enough gateways up in time, 6 gates, Twilight counts 2, and as long as he hits a couple of good force fields, he should be fine until his splash damage is able to come out on the map. Because of course it's not out as fast as it could be because of the double forge, but of course it's not exactly very late either. As them 2 extra gators do finish, and going to 6 gators in Twilight, so probably going to be going for charge very quickly. Could be Blink to help kind of defend from drops, but charge pretty nice when you've got the heavy upgrades, because the results just do so much damage. We'll see what he wants to do with the Twilight Council. Could maybe start working away the rocks the third, maybe doesn't want to think about that too much yet. Right now xNoCtiFeRx has a pretty big army here. Going to be able to run up the ramp, but DeadMeat way too on top of it to care about that. He's got 4 swarms in the main, which is perfectly great. And they actually received xNoCtiFeRx trying to actually just drop on the high ground, which isn't going to work at all. In fact, just losing them is there. Now with the force fields on the low ground here, DeadMeat needs to be careful of them sentries. In fact, all these sentries might die. So this is starting to work out for xNoCtiFeRx, but you know, DeadMeat was doing a pretty good job of building it initially. xNoCtiFeRx going to try and pick up a few units here once again, but with 1-1 against 0-0, these units are going to just get absolutely melted in just seconds. And the Colossi should be able to just clear up the rest of that. There's medevac going down as well, and that's not a good trade for xNoCtiFeRx. Never really want to lose them early medevacs, especially now when he's kind of in that position where Colossi on the map, he's going to need to kind of get another starport up anyway, just to kind of start getting them Vikings out. But now he's going to have to think about making more medevacs too, so it's a little bit of a bad position for xNoCtiFeRx in terms of that. He's got his third base morphing into an orbital. He's pretty nicely saturated in his main and his natural. So he needs to get that third base floated down, start sending a few SCVs over there. So his SCV production's been pretty nice. Third base with DeadMeat is just about 4 of the way done now. Just needs a couple more kind of warpings. He's got 2-2 on the way, he's got another observer on the way out. He never actually committed though to the extended thermal lance, which means he's going to go into the Templar place and going to play Zealot Archon and just kind of hope his opponent overreacts to the Colossi, make too many Vikings, and then the Templar Archon Zealot composition is just going to rip his opponent to shreds if he doesn't have any ghosts out in time. Storm starting up almost immediately, and 2-2 halfway done when 1-1 isn't even really that far along for the Terran players. DeadMeat in a really nice position. In terms of these upgrades, he's starting up his gases as third base as well, he's starting up another pylon at the back there, and just in general he's all set up to go nicely into this game, continuing on. Some Stalkers in the maze still being kept there in terms of denying drops, and look at this, what is it? Oh my god, it's a drop, and he's going to be able to take it out very easily, and if xNoCtiFeRx doesn't pay attention, he's going to lose that, and just one reward to just drop out. So always just try and you know, position the medevac over there until you're ready to go in and pay attention to it, and then go in and drop. We do see another drop full of Marines on the right hand side of the map. We'll see what this can do, but you know, I think yeah, DeadMeat's in pretty much position to deal with that. Waits for it to unload and then goes in for it. Again, xNoCtiFeRx trying to fight here, but that's not really the most the best choices. I mean, there's no real need to try and fight that if your opponent's whole army's there. Well, you're not actually going to kill it, so with 1 drop. So xNoCtiFeRx, again, right now, just kind of sitting around. He's finally adding a second starport. He doesn't have any Vikings on the map still, though. So DeadMeat now just going back into the kind of Colossus tech. Now his Fid base is up. He's got that extra gas, so he can afford to kind of start up thermal lamps again, start up extra Colossi. 3-3 is going to be delayed because he restarted Colossi a bit earlier, but that's just a kind of where you want to decide things, like if you want to get extra Colossi first, if you want to go into that 3-3. Quite often getting the 3-3 started first and then going up to then the Colossi, because then you can get 3 Colossi out for the time 3-3 finishes and do just a huge push with 3-3 Templar and Colossi. xNoCtiFeRx just taking the map control, as he's once again going to try another job here, but nice drop defense from DeadMeat. He's got these Stalkers, he's got cannon as well, so more or less he's pretty much safe here. Link's on the way for DeadMeat as well, so that'll help him pick off the drops every now and then, and these units are going to get cleaned up. That Stalker will just get away with its life. So DeadMeat going to be able to retake the towers once again, as he's now going to be able to try and lift up. Well, he's not going to try and lift up at all. One Marauder does die. And he's just moving around with these Marauders right now. And there he goes. He's going to try and get in the main base here. But again, there's just five Stalkers. Not the best against 3 Marauders, but a couple of Zealot Walkers as well going to be able to help take that down. More than anything, just needs to take down the Medivac. And yeah, the Colossi from behind going to be able to clean that up. Scout to Templar, he's already got Ghost Academy down, he's got Mobius Reactor started, and in fact his command center, his 4th base is starting in plenty of time. He's got a really nice saturation. For DeadMeat as well, if you check his saturation, he's pretty much nice and saturated everywhere. So both of these guys really good on the SCV and work pro production. But DeadMeat looking like he wants to get a little bit aggressive here. There's 4 Vikings out, and a heavy Bioforce from xNoCtiFeRx. Excuse me. With good storms though, DeadMeat's going to just rip this to shreds, although he is pretty far behind in supply. Basically because he's just been teching so hard though. DeadMeat should maybe be rating for 3-3 a little bit more. We've actually checked the upgrades here. It's 2-1 for the Terran, so yeah. DeadMeat doesn't want to run into this too quickly here. 3-3 is kind of the real kind of pushing point. Because if he could push with 3-3 against 2-1, that's going to be absolutely huge, of course. And of course, he'd be a bit close to maxing out there as well. Still adding on production when there's still kind of, you know, he kind of needs some more units to max out. So kind of just don't have that production on quite yet. It's not necessary. Do you actually see the engagement now coming down? Force field going down. The Templar's not able to get in range. First storm isn't actually the best. There's the better storm coming in all over that Bioforce, and more storms coming down. Is there another storm left? No. DeadMeat's actually out of storms, and xNoCtiFeRx 50 supply ahead right now, and the Vikings are going to start landing, and actually DeadMeat not pulling back all of his army in time. And again, DeadMeat's just been a little bit too greedy before he's produced here. He had a little bit too much tech and not enough kind of ground units to kind of buffer for it all. And he kind of fought into the choke as well, which kind of wasn't the best for Terran, sure, because like, he doesn't want to run into storms there, but the problem was the storms weren't really able to go off. Turrets, tower, planetary fort is going to come down here at the 4th base. DeadMeat maybe could have took that 4th a little bit sooner again, because he just had that kind of better army. He's been defending the drops perfectly all game. Again, right now, DeadMeat just needs to use these gateways a little bit more often. There's so many units just off, warp gates just off of cooldown right now that he could be using, and that's kind of just hurting him continuously throughout the game. A second robot facility as well, maybe just to get the Colossi back up a little bit faster, so you can get 2 at a time. That's just another little addition thing. He's going to be able to saturate his 4th gases here in just a moment. He's actually already got the probes rallying into there, so he's just waiting for it. But the problem is he's not maxed out, and again, he's got the production to max out. He's just not hitting the kind of warping timings to be able to keep maxing out. So that's a bit of a problem. Just needs to be able to hit the warp gate times every time they max out. I mean, he's warped in now, but before, I mean, that's like a whole warping cycle he kind of nearly missed because of it. And now the Terran Force, which is maxed out, is going to come at him, and DeadMeat's not in a good position to fight here. He needs to be a little bit more aware of his army, pull it back, and there's what he's doing. He's be careful with Archon. Archon's important too. Okay, Archon isn't important. So, xNoCtiFeRx going to take on the aggressor's role here. Throwing an EMP off on the Archon, not really necessary. And DeadMeat once again going to come in again, just not maxed out here. And EMP is pretty much all over the army, and there's pretty much no storms able to go down. The EMPs were good, and again DeadMeat just doesn't have the army to really fight this ever. And the Terran army is just too large here, and DeadMeat is going to have to tap out very shortly because he just doesn't have enough to kind of deal with this. And again, it's just about hitting them warp gate timings. If he'd hit them warp gate timings, he'd have been able to have a lot more army as the Terran army kind of forces its way through here. If he had a whole lot more army, he could have added production a lot sooner, he could have taken the 4th base a lot sooner, and just general things like that. Again, going back to the initial fight, if we go like, well, when was it? It was a bit on from here, wasn't it? Yeah, so when you fight over here, like, just look at this engagement quickly. I mean, you're not, first of all, your Templar, right now, when this Terran army is coming in here, your Templar are way too far back. You're already like 3-4 steps away. Secondly, you're going to be fighting on a choke, which is okay if you've kind of got the Templar there. But you don't. So, as the fight goes on, your Colossi are going to die pretty fast. And also, you're 2-2 against 2-1, which isn't much of an upgrade lead. If you wait another minute, you have 3-3 against 2-1 for like a whole minute. And that's just such a huge time. And then this army probably even dies to this half army of yours. And also, if you wait that minute, you're also going to be able to kind of get that extra army you need and actually max out. So that was kind of your problem, just not being able to max out. You're kind of a bit greedy early on with the tech, which is fine, that's the way the build kind of works. But again, you could have had the 3-3 a lot sooner if you started that up before the Colossi, and then you still could have had 3 Colossi by the time you went into attack. So still things like that, just to kind of order things, and the 4th base maybe could have been a bit sooner too. And you could have had just a few more gateways than what you actually did have in the end. I know I said max out then add gateways, but at the end you were kind of like floating so much and missing so many that maybe you do need a few more warp gates as well. So that was DeadMeat against xNoCtiFeRx, where you've got